Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that can turn an ordinary pocket change into a life-changing fortune, and today we're going to explore one of the most unbelievable and exciting stories in the world of coin collecting, the 1996 1-cent coin. A simple Lincoln penny that has stunned collectors and investors by being valued as high as $4 million because of its rare errors, unique mistakes, and fascinating minting anomalies that have turned it into one of the most sought-after pieces of modern numismatic history, a coin that proves even something as small as a penny can hold immense hidden value if you know what to look for. The 1996 Lincoln 1-cent coin might seem like an ordinary copper-plated zinc coin at first glance, minted by the billions across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but beneath its small round surface lies a treasure of history, human error, mechanical imperfection, and pure luck that makes certain examples worth millions to those who recognize their hidden potential. This coin, which features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, represents a bridge between the early zinc-based cents of the 1980s and the transitional modern issues of the late 1990s, but what makes this particular year's coin so valuable isn't its design, it's the errors and anomalies that appeared on a very limited number of specimens, transforming them from ordinary change into multi-million-dollar collector items. When we talk about errors, we're not just referring to minor scratches or wear from circulation, but genuine minting mistakes such as double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, wrong planchet strikes, die cracks, die clashes, missing letters, misaligned dies, and even transitional composition errors that create unique, one-of-a-kind coins unlike any others. The 1996 1-cent worth $4 million is believed to be a perfect storm of several of these error types, a combination so rare that it has only been seen in a handful of examples and authenticated by top grading agencies like PCGS and NGC, whose expert teams use microscopes and spectral analysis to confirm every microscopic detail. Collectors believe that this coin's value skyrocketed because it was minted on the wrong planchet, possibly using a leftover bronze planchet from pre-1982 production rather than the copper-plated zinc that was standard after 1982, which alone makes it extraordinarily rare because such transitional errors usually occur only in the first or last year of a major composition change. But the story doesn't stop there. On top of the wrong metal composition, this 1996 cent also features a dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's face, lettering, and date appear doubled or shadowed due to a misalignment during the hubbing process of die creation, resulting in a coin with ghost-like images that collectors call true doubling. Such doubling is especially visible on the Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1996, making the coin instantly recognizable to the trained eye. Some of the most expensive examples also show die cracks running across Lincoln's bust and the field, resembling a lightning bolt that adds even more uniqueness. When the mint produces billions of coins annually, a few inevitable errors slip through, but what makes this 1 cent from 1996 so incredible is the combination of multiple rare factors, composition error, double die, and misalignment, all on a single coin that somehow escaped detection and entered circulation. Most of these coins would have been caught by mint inspectors, melted down, or destroyed before release, but this one found its way into a collector's hands or perhaps sat unnoticed in circulation for decades before being discovered. Imagine finding such a coin in your loose change or coin jar. What looks like a simple penny could hold the potential to transform your financial future. The weight difference is one of the first clues experts use to identify these million-dollar pennies. A normal post, 1982 penny made of zinc with copper plating weighs about 2.5 grams, while a bronze planchet penny weighs around 3.11 grams. If you come across a 1996 penny that tips the scale at 3.1 grams or more, that's your first hint it might be something truly special. Add to that a double die and other visible imperfections, and you could be holding a multi-million-dollar coin. Another aspect that makes the 1996 penny so fascinating is the potential for wrong planchet errors involving foreign coins. There have been verified cases where US 1-cent coins were accidentally struck on planchets intended for other countries' smaller denominations or even dimes, resulting in underweight pennies with distinct silvery tones. Some 1996 cents have been found with thin, silvery surfaces, suggesting they were struck on dime stock, creating one of the rarest combinations possible. When the public hears that a penny could be worth $4 million, it sounds unbelievable, but once you understand the rarity of the conditions that lead to such a coin's creation, the value becomes more understandable. Numismatics, the study of coins and currency, is built on rarity, demand, and condition. A coin's story, its mistake, and its survival against all odds add layers of intrigue that fuel collector passion. The 1996 Pennies story includes theories of accidental planchet mixing, die creation errors at the mint, and even mishandled production batches that were hurried to meet mintage quotas. Some experts believe that during the minting process, leftover bronze planchets were accidentally loaded into the press intended for 1996 zinc blanks, and because of the similar size, the press continued striking without triggering any error alarms. This could have created just a handful of bronze 1996 cents, each one a multi-million-dollar artifact today. There are also rumors in collector communities about a few 1996 cents struck with reverse of 1995 dies, meaning that an old reverse die from the previous year was reused, resulting in subtle design differences visible under magnification. This type of mule or hybrid error, where parts of two different years' designs are combined, is extremely rare and highly prized by collectors. The value of the 1996 1 cent skyrocketed when auction houses reported record-breaking bids from private collectors and investors who recognized the coin's combination of minting anomalies and pristine condition. Some examples graded as MS67 red or higher fetched enormous prices, as high as $4 million in private sales, due to their unmatched rarity and the growing trend of investing in tangible, historically significant collectibles. Beyond just being a minting mistake, the 1996 cent represents the perfect mix of rarity, demand, and story, all of which drive numismatic value. The story behind these coins also ties into a broader fascination with Lincoln cents overall. Since their introduction in 1909, Lincoln cents have been an icon of American coinage and have spawned countless varieties and collectible errors, from the famous 1955 double die to the 1983 copper transitional error and the 1992 close AM varieties. Each year has its own mysteries, and 1996 is no exception. It's a year where collectors have reported off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die rotations, and even partial brockage that add visual appeal and uniqueness. Off-center strikes, for instance, happen when the blank planchet isn't properly aligned with the dies during striking, causing part of the design to be missing or off to the side. Depending on the degree of the misalignment, such coins can range in value from a few $100s to several thousand, but when combined with other errors, like in this $4 million example, the result is astronomical value. Another type of error that may have appeared on the valuable 1996 penny is the broad strike, where the coin expands beyond its normal diameter because the collar die fails to hold it in place during striking. This causes a warped, flat-edged appearance that looks visually striking and adds rarity. When such a broad strike appears alongside a double die or wrong planchet error, the coin instantly becomes a one-of-a-kind treasure. Imagine how few of these could have escaped the mint's strict inspection process, probably less than a handful. That's why these coins command huge premiums at auctions. What's also fascinating is how these errors remained undiscovered for years, with many being found only after collectors carefully examined old coin rolls, jars, or inherited collections. Stories abound of people finding rare 1996 error pennies in pocket change decades after minting, then having them authenticated and graded to discover they were holding a fortune in their hands. The coin collecting world thrives on such stories, turning ordinary citizens into treasure hunters, and every time a discovery like the $1996 million penny surfaces, it reignites that passion across the community. Many collectors now examine their 1996 pennies under magnification, looking for telltale signs such as doubling on the date, distorted lettering, or even unusual color tones that might hint at a composition difference. Even the faintest signs of a die crack or clash can set off excitement because in the world of mint errors, rarity equals value. Next 2002 1 cent coin, to my channel where we explore the fascinating and surprising world of rare coins that can turn an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure, and today's story is about one of the most unbelievable discoveries in modern numismatics, the 2002 1 cent coin, a small Lincoln penny that has become one of the most talked about and valuable coins of the 21st century. shocking collectors and investors alike after being valued at an astounding $3 million due to the combination of errors, minting mistakes, and extraordinary anomalies that make it one of the rarest coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint, a true hidden gem that proves once again that big money can come from the smallest coins if you know what to look for. The 2002 Lincoln cent may seem completely ordinary at first glance, featuring Abraham Lincoln's classic portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, minted in billions at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, yet among those billions lies a microscopic handful of coins so unique, so mysteriously flawed, and so unbelievably rare that they've captured the attention of top grading agencies like PCGS and NGC, coin collectors, and even investors who see these pennies not just as currency but as pieces of American history cast in copper-plated zinc. To understand why the 2002 penny can be worth $3 million, you have to dive deep into the minting process and the fascinating world of mint errors, where small imperfections become massive treasures. The story of this coin begins inside the mint's high-speed presses, where thousands of blanks are struck every minute, each one expected to come out perfectly identical, but sometimes, because of human error, equipment malfunction, or even unnoticed planchet mixing, something extraordinary happens, and a one-of-a-kind coin is born. That's exactly what happened with a select few 2002 pennies that now rank among the most valuable coins in circulation history. Experts believe that the most valuable 2002 1-cent coins feature a combination of several extremely rare error types: a wrong planchet strike, a dramatic double die obverse, die cracks and clashes, and possibly even transitional composition errors that make them unique among all coins minted in that year. The U.S. Mint had been producing copper-plated zinc cents since 1982, meaning each coin should weigh about 2.5 grams, but a few 2002 cents have surfaced weighing around 3.1 grams, the old bronze composition weight, indicating that they were struck on leftover bronze planchets that somehow found their way into the production line. This type of error is nearly impossible in modern minting, yet history shows that transitional composition mistakes can happen even decades after the official change, and when they do, the result is a coin so rare that collectors are willing to pay millions for it. The wrong planchet error alone would make a 2002 penny worth tens of thousands, but when combined with other major minting anomalies, the value skyrockets. The most famous examples of the 2002 cent worth millions display a pronounced double die on the obverse side, where Lincoln's portrait, the inscriptions, Liberty, and, In God We Trust, and the date, 2002, appear doubled or shadowed due to a slight misalignment during the die creation process, which causes a second impression of the design to appear at a slight offset from the first. This doubling is visible even to the naked eye, giving the coin a ghost-like, three-dimensional look that collectors adore. Genuine double die errors occur at the die-making stage, not during the striking of the coin itself, which means that all coins struck with that die carry the same doubling pattern, and because only a few such dies were ever used, and likely caught and destroyed early, the surviving coins are among the rarest of the rare. Adding to this coin's mystique are visible die cracks, tiny raised lines across the surface caused by the physical stress of repeated striking during the minting process, which give each coin a distinctive pattern, almost like a fingerprint. Some of these die cracks extend from Lincoln's forehead to the rim, or across the field of the coin, creating dramatic lightning-like effects that make these pennies visually striking and easily recognizable to experts. Others show die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies hit each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly traces of the Lincoln Memorial on Lincoln's bust or vice versa. Each of these errors alone would add tremendous value, but when all these factors are found together on a single coin, it becomes a true numismatic masterpiece. Collectors who have seen the $3 million 2002 penny describe it as almost surreal, with the combination of a bronze composition, visible doubling, die cracks, and perfect uncirculated condition, making it not only historically fascinating but visually mesmerizing. How could such a coin slip past the mint's quality control in the 21st century, an era of digital precision and strict inspection? That's one of the reasons why this coin's story is so captivating, because it reminds us that even in the age of technology, human error and mechanical imperfections still have their place, and sometimes they create something far greater than intended. Some numismatic researchers have theorized that this extraordinary 2002 cent might have been struck on a leftover planchet from a foreign coin contract or even on a test planchet from another denomination. The US Mint occasionally strikes foreign coins under contract, and it's not impossible that a leftover blank of the wrong metal or thickness got mixed into the bin of 1-cent planchets. Such hybrid coins are known as mules or wrong planchet strikes and are among the rarest errors in existence. There have been confirmed cases in other years where US cents were struck on dime planchets, foreign coin blanks, or even experimental alloys, each becoming an instant legend among collectors. If that's the case for the 2002 penny, its uniqueness becomes even more astounding. Another theory suggests that a small number of experimental bronze planchets may have been reintroduced during a mint test run or in error, producing only a handful of coins before the mistake was caught. Given the massive scale of coin production, such a scenario is plausible yet extremely unlikely, which is precisely why collectors are willing to pay millions for one. The physical condition of the coin also plays a major role in its astronomical value. Coins graded MS-68 or MS-69 by professional services are nearly flawless, showing sharp details, full mint luster, and virtually no contact marks. A 2002 error cent in such a high grade is almost unheard of, which explains why auction houses and private sales have recorded values in the multimillion-dollar range. Some reports mention private collectors paying over $3 million for one such example due to its perfect preservation, unmatched combination of errors, and authenticated provenance. It's worth noting that 2002 was also a year of subtle die deterioration issues across the Lincoln cent series. Many coins from that year show early signs of plating blisters, die fatigue, and slight misalignments caused by high-speed production, but only a microscopic fraction show true mint errors. The valuable examples stand apart due to the clarity and rarity of their mistakes. In the coin world, rarity plus condition equals value, and the 2002 1 cent hits both marks perfectly. Another fascinating error reported in 2002 cents involves off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the planchet was misaligned with the dies during striking. In extreme cases, Lincoln's portrait is only half visible, with the other half showing blank metal. These are instantly noticeable and collectible. While most off-center strikes are worth a few $100s, a 2002 penny showing both off-center strike and wrong planchet composition could easily climb into the tens of thousands. Combine that with the double die and bronze composition found on the multimillion-dollar example, and you have a coin that's virtually irreplaceable. Some collectors also claim to have found 2002 pennies with rotated dies, meaning that when you flip the coin from front to back, the reverse is rotated by 90 or even 180 degrees instead of being properly aligned. These rotational errors are rare and highly desirable, and if found on a bronze or misstruck example, they further amplify the coin's uniqueness. Each of these anomalies tells a story about what was happening inside the mint at that moment, perhaps a loose die, a batch of mixed planchets, or a momentary lapse in inspection, and together they weave a narrative of imperfection that creates beauty and rarity. The 2002 penny's composition also makes it a subject of interest for metallurgical analysis. While most 2002 cents are made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, the few rare examples suspected of being bronze have shown a much higher copper content, sometimes close to 95%, similar to pre-1982 coins. This has been confirmed through X-ray fluorescence testing and density measurements by experts, reinforcing the theory of wrong planchet or transitional errors. Such coins not only hold monetary value but also historical significance, as they represent the unintentional blending of two eras of U.S. coinage, the copper and the zinc age. Last 1983 1-cent coin, we explore the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change, where every ordinary-looking penny could turn into a life-changing fortune, and today's story will absolutely blow your mind because we are diving deep into one of the most famous, most mysterious, and most valuable coins in American history, the 1983 1-cent coin, a small Lincoln penny that has stunned collectors, investors, and numismatic experts around the world after being discovered to be worth as much as $2 million due to a combination of errors, mistakes, and unbelievable minting anomalies that turned this everyday piece of copper-plated zinc into one of the most valuable coins ever found in modern US coinage, and as we uncover the secrets behind why this little coin is so valuable, you'll understand how small mistakes at the mint can create rare treasures worth millions. Now, when people think of the 1983 Lincoln cent, they think of a common coin, one they've handled countless times without a second thought, but that's exactly what makes this story so fascinating, because within that ocean of ordinary pennies, a few rare errors slipped through, and those few have become worth more than luxury cars, houses, or even college educations. To understand why the 1983 penny can be worth $2 million, we have to go back to a pivotal moment in US mint history, because 1983 was one of the most important years in the evolution of the Lincoln cent. Just 1 year before, in 1982, the US Mint made a major change in the coin's composition, transitioning from the traditional 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc alloy that had been used since 1909 to a new copper-plated zinc core made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, a change driven by rising copper prices. But as with any major transition, mistakes were made, and some of those mistakes turned out to be worth millions. The 1983 penny sits right at the heart of this transition, and while it was supposed to be struck only in the new copper-plated zinc composition, a few were accidentally minted using leftover solid bronze planchets from 1982. This means some 1983 cents weigh 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, a tiny difference that makes a world of difference in value, because that heavier bronze planchet is the key that transforms an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar rarity. These bronze 1983 pennies were never meant to exist, but a small handful did, either because the mint accidentally mixed planchets or because a few copper blanks were mistakenly left in the press hoppers when production switched to zinc. Such transitional errors are among the most valuable in coin collecting, as they represent a mistake at the very moment when old and new materials were changing hands. But that's only one layer of the story, because the 1983 penny's value doesn't come from composition alone. In fact, the $2 million examples often show multiple layers of minting errors, including double die obverse errors, reverse doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, and even die clashes, making them not just composition rarities but visual marvels that tell the story of minting imperfection at its most fascinating. Let's start with the famous double die errors. Some 1983 Lincoln cents exhibit strong doubling on the reverse side, particularly in the inscriptions, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and the word, 1 cent. The doubling is visible even without magnification, giving the letters a shadow-like or doubled appearance that catches the eye immediately. These coins, known as the 1983 double die reverse, have been confirmed by top grading services like PCGS and NGC and are among the most valuable Lincoln cent errors ever discovered. A typical example can sell for thousands, but when that doubling appears on a bronze planchet, the combination of two rare features in one coin, the value skyrockets into the millions. Only a tiny handful of these hybrid errors exist, which explains why one has been valued at $2 million. The doubling occurs when the die used to strike the coin is impressed twice with a slight misalignment during its creation, causing every coin struck from that die to show doubled design elements. This is not mechanical doubling or die deterioration, it's genuine hub doubling, which makes it rare and desirable. When collectors find such doubling on the 1983 reverse combined with the wrong planchet, they know they've found one of the holy grails of modern coin collecting. Another fascinating feature found on some valuable 1983 cents is die cracks, which look like tiny raised lines or jagged marks running across the coin's surface. These occur when the die itself begins to crack from repeated use, and each strike imprints that crack pattern onto the coin, creating a unique fingerprint-like marking. Some 1983 pennies show dramatic die cracks extending from Lincoln's bust to the rim or from the Lincoln Memorial columns to the fields, and in combination with other errors, these become extremely desirable. In fact, collectors have nicknamed some of these dramatic examples lightning bolt or spiderweb cracks because of their striking visual appearance. The coin's story doesn't end there, though. Some 1983 pennies also feature off-center strikes, where the blank planchet wasn't properly aligned with the dies during striking, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Depending on the degree of misalignment, such coins can be worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands, but when an off-center strike appears on a bronze planchet or a double die variety, it becomes a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that no other coin can replicate. A few examples even show partial blockage errors, where one coin stuck to the die and imprinted a mirrored image on the next blank struck, creating an eerie, ghost-like effect on one side of the coin. These types of compound errors are extremely rare and highly prized. Another category of error that contributes to the 1983 penny's extraordinary value is the die clash. This happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring traces of each design onto the other die's surface. Subsequent coins then show faint outlines of the opposite design, such as parts of the Lincoln Memorial appearing behind Lincoln's head or traces of Lincoln's bust appearing on the reverse. These subtle, ghostly impressions are like signatures of a minting mishap and make each affected coin unique. Combined with the bronze composition and doubling, a die clash can turn a simple cent into a museum-worthy artifact. Weight is one of the most important diagnostic clues for identifying the $2 million 1983 penny. A normal zinc-based 1983 cent weighs about 2.5 grams, while a bronze transitional error will weigh approximately 3.1 grams. Serious collectors and treasure hunters use digital gram scales to check for this difference because that tiny increase in weight reveals the coin's hidden secret. Only a handful of 1983 bronze cents have ever been confirmed, and one of them sold for nearly $24,000 years ago when it first surfaced, long before its full rarity was widely understood. Since then, the mystique and demand for such coins have grown exponentially, with experts estimating that fewer than 10 examples exist, making them rarer than many classic gold coins. When combined with other errors like doubling or off-center strikes, the theoretical value easily climbs into the millions, especially when the coin is in high mint state condition with sharp details and original luster. Grading plays a massive role in the value of any coin, and the few known 1983 bronze or major error cents that have been professionally graded as MS-65 or higher are among the most coveted in the hobby. These coins often feature brilliant red or red-brown coloration, with smooth fields and crisp design elements that highlight every detail of the mint's error. Coins in such condition are not only rare because of the error but also because of their survival. Most pennies are handled roughly, exposed to the elements, or spent countless times in circulation, making pristine examples incredibly scarce. Another interesting aspect of the 1983 penny story is how it connects to the broader trend of transitional errors in U.S. history. Similar mistakes occurred in 1943 when bronze planchets were accidentally used during the production of steel cents, creating the famous 1943 copper penny worth over $1 million. Again in 1944, steel planchets were mistakenly struck with the new bronze composition. The 1983 penny continues that lineage, showing that even in modern times, when technology was supposed to have perfected minting, the human factor and machine work could still produce miracles of imperfection. The thrill of finding one of these coins is what drives so many collectors to search through rolls of pennies, coin jars, and old collections. The idea that a $2 million treasure could be sitting unnoticed in a change drawer or bankroll keeps the hunt alive. Some collectors have reported discovering slightly heavier 1983 pennies while weighing large batches, and every time one surfaces, it sparks renewed excitement across the community. Videos, articles, and online forums light up with speculation and analysis, with enthusiasts using magnification to study lettering, rim details, and coloration. One of the most remarkable things about the 1983 penny is how it has united both experts and beginners in the same dream, the dream of finding hidden fortune in something everyone else overlooks.